Hi, everybody. I'm Kirsten. You're on the Beyond High C channel, and I'm so glad you are. If you have complete sentences as a goal, you want to say more complete sentences, maybe you've got aphasia or you're surviving stroke or brain injury, I'm going to do a complete sentence exercise. It won't be too long, and I invite you to do it with me. I am so excited and inspired at the progress that I see people making in Say More Academy, which is something I pour my heart into, get to interface with people in live practices, Monday through Friday if you wish. It is an amazing program that I'm excited to say is making a lot of speech progress for people, and I would love to have you see what it's like and come and do it for a month with us. So there is a link right here. I hope you will go and check it out. And now for complete sentences, if it's really a struggle, a great thing to practice every day is starting with I. You could take your hand, put it on your chest. It can really make a big difference to say I. Will you say it with me? I. Now, in class, we're going to be talking about neighborhoods. And I wonder if you could bring to mind your neighborhood. And this is an exercise that could be a benefit for you, whether you can say few words, whether you are working on complete sentences, or maybe you have sentences and ideas coming, but you want to be bigger parts of conversations. You can extend the short sentences I'm about to offer you for that. So rather, if you're thinking about neighborhood, a lot of people start with the word neighborhood, and they can't get to the beginning of the sentences easily. So I want to challenge you to think of a person. A person is a good place to start a sentence, a good thing to start a sentence with, and I have found to be the easiest one. So we'll end with neighborhood, but we'll start with I. And if you say I live, we can put that in the front of a lot of different sentences and make something interesting and good come out. So let's say that. You could touch your chest and say with me, I live. We'll do it 3 times. I live. Let's go again. I live. Last time, go. I live. All right, now, where do you live? There are a lot of ways that you could answer that, finish that sentence. So we're talking about neighborhoods. I'm going to say, I live in a neighborhood. If you can't say that, no worries. Just feel the rhythm, put it in your body, tap your chest with me, and make a sound if you can. Get any part of it out that you can. And if you can do it, do the whole thing. We'll do it 3 times. Let's go. I live in a neighborhood. I live in a neighborhood. I live in a neighborhood. Now, to practice communication, it helps so much to be able to say things to people that are true for you, meaningful to you, and interesting to you. I bet you have something interesting about your neighborhood. In fact, if you and I were having a conversation, you probably may have some things pop into your mind about your neighborhood, maybe funny stories, thinking about your neighbors, what it's like. Is it quiet? Is it busy? Does it have a lot of little kids? Does it have a lot of dogs? So hopefully your mind can generate those things and we can help you. But in this moment, we're going to concentrate on I live. Now, where do you live? I know a lot of times people may ask you where you live. More and more, I find people can say maybe the name of their state if you're in the U.S. Before we move on from there, I want to challenge you. If you're capable of writing, you could drop a comment and type I or type I live. Either type I or I live. Type I or I live. Want to do that? Yeah. If you can say where you live, that is fantastic, but it's not necessary. Now, I live in Virginia. but I don't want to start my sentence with Virginia. I might say it, but then I want to say, I live in Virginia. Feel the rhythm. I live in Virginia. I live in Virginia. Right? What state do you live in? You could say it out loud as if I could hear you. You could press pause and take an extra moment. And if you can type it in the chat, I'd love to read it. In the comments, I'd love to read it. There are a couple of places you could live. You could live in a house. You could live in an apartment. Maybe you live in a condo. Maybe those are the three. We won't get too complicated. You may live in one of those. So let's take that. We'll say each of those. We'll put at the end of the sentence, I live. I live. You can drop it in the comments. I live. I live. All right. Maybe you live in a house. Will you say that? House. House. The complete sentence starting with I could be, I live in a house. I live in a house. Two more. I live in a house. Last time, I live in a house. Maybe you live in an apartment. An apartment. 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 Do you hear birds in the background? There's a lot of bird activity here in Virginia. I love it. Maybe there are a lot of birds in your neighborhood. You could say, well, there's a sentence there, but we'll block that for now. All right, so if you are living in an apartment, you could say with me, apartment. Feel the rhythm. Apartment. Last time, apartment. If you touch your chest and say, I live in an apartment. I live in an apartment. Two more. I live in an apartment. Last time, I live in an apartment. Apartment. Maybe you live in a condo. Want to say that with me 3 times? Condo. 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 Now touch your chest. I live in a condo. I live in a condo. Last time, I live in a condo. It's getting repetition. Say complete sentences is your target speech goal. Getting a little repetition, just a few things to practice. Again, a couple minutes, a couple minutes, a couple minutes. That's how you can really get your speech going quick. I hope you'll consider looking at Say More Academy with us. It can really help you speed up your progress, and you'll get encouragement and support from us too, which I don't know about you, that sure helps me a lot. And if you're capable, as soon as this video ends, you could say out loud, just like I could hear you, how is your neighborhood? See what you can say. Touch your chest to start with I, and you can put any of that in the comments that you would like. I'd love to hear from you. I'm so glad you're here. I love this channel, and I wish you the very best, fastest possible speech progress. And we hope to see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.